Good evening, welcome to Left, Right and Centre. I'm Vishnu Shom. Tonight, mounting alarm in Pakistan over the fate of the former Prime Minister Imran Khan, still locked in solitary confinement at Rawalpindi's Adiala jail after more than 2 years behind bars. For the past 24 days, in fact 25, even his sisters have been barred from seeing him in direct violation of court orders. Yesterday, Alima Khan and Noreen Khan, his sisters, were physically assaulted by female police officers outside the prison gates while demanding proof that their brother was alive. The incident has triggered furious protests and fresh death rumours that authorities were forced to publicly refute. Now, the timing is impossible to ignore. Just 2 weeks back, Pakistan's parliament passed the controversial 26th Amendment, handing the Army Chief, General Asim Munir, unprecedented influence over judicial appointments and granting himself and President Zardari lifetime legal immunity. Now, critics call it a silent coup. Supporters insist that it restores constitutional balance. Yet, as General Munir tightens his grip on both the judiciary and the streets, the country's most popular politician is being held in conditions his family now describes as a death cell, cut off from lawyers, books and daylight. Tonight, with access brutally denied and the army chief's power seemingly absolute, many Pakistanis are asking a chilling question. How far will the establishment go to silence the man who still commands millions? So what we thought we'd do is describe to you what the overall situation in Pakistan is. Let's call it a hero, a mystic and a field marshal. First, the big question, is Imran alive? Well, as rumours explode across social media and protests rage outside Adiala jail, one haunting question now dominates Pakistan: is Imran alive? For 25 consecutive days, not even his closest family members have been allowed inside, leaving the nation in anguished suspense. Yesterday, Alima Khan and Noreen Khan were allegedly dragged by the hair and beaten by female police while demanding to see their brother. Unverified reports claiming Imran has been killed in custody swept the internet within hours, forcing authorities into rare public denials. Adiala jail officials issued a hurried statement insisting the former Prime Minister was alive and receiving full medical care, but refused to provide visual proof. So that's one part of the story. But pegged to this, let's take a look at what's happening in Pakistan in general. Well, speaking of generals, there's General Field Marshal, Chief of Defence Forces Asim Munir, because he was a general. He went on to Field Marshal. He's now Chief of Defence Forces as well. While Imran seems to have disappeared behind prison walls, another person, the Field Marshal, has quietly seized unprecedented control over Pakistan's future. The Army Chief is now mockingly called Field Marshal by critics, has emerged as the most powerful figure in the country. The recently passed 27th Constitutional Amendment grants lifetime legal immunity to General Munir, other service chiefs and President Zardari as well. The same amendment strips the Supreme Court of key constitutional jurisdiction, effectively neutering judicial independence. The President can now transfer or remove senior judges at will, placing the judiciary under direct executive control. General Asim Munir has been formally appointed, as I mentioned, Chief of Defence Forces, cementing the military's dominance over all branches of the state. Then, of course, there is Imran, Pakistan's heart and soul. Once a World Cup winning cricketer and Prime Minister, Imran remains jailed, a hero whose very existence challenges the new order of Asim Munir. Held in solitary confinement with his party symbol banned and his speeches censored, he nevertheless commands unmatched public support across his country. To millions, he is no longer just a politician, but the moral leader of a nation searching for justice. And finally, there is the mystic who guides Imran. At his side stood Bushra Bibi, the enigmatic First Lady, revered as Imran's Sufi spiritual guide and a mystic in her own right. Years ago, she reportedly predicted Imran's rise to power, earning near saintly status among supporters. Now charged with unlawful marriage and corruption, Bushra Bibi has been jailed and silenced alongside her husband. Yet in the public imagination, the mystique and sympathy surrounding Bushra Bibi and indeed Imran Khan is perhaps stronger than ever before. Joining us now, Abdul Samad Yaqoob, senior leader of the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, that's Imran Khan's party, Imtiaz Gul, the senior journalist, Achal Kumar Malhotra, former Indian ambassador. We're also joined by General Subroto Saha. Thank you all very much for being with us. Mr. Yaqoob, let me come to you first. Is there any clarity on Imran's condition?
Well, there is uncertainty. There is no such clarity. There is over apprehensions are undeniable on the basis of the historic track record of the Pakistan, where the prime ministers, the former prime ministers, were assassinated. They were hanged, just like Mr. Bhutto, and Benazir was assassinated, and even Imran Khan himself was. There was an attempt of assassination. He was shot down. He got injured. So, on the basis of that precedents, we have grave concern about the condition of the Imran Khan. At the moment, there is not even the sisters, the lawyer, or any person from the party or any credible journalist is being allowed to meet him. So it's consecutive 25th day. He is in solitary confinement. I had previously I had privilege to meet Imran Khan thrice. At that time, he was in a better condition, but at this moment, I am not in a position to say anything with the certainty.
Are his sisters actually allowed to visit him once a week? Is that being denied? And what are the grounds for that denial?
Well, as I told you last time, I met the Imran Khan with the Alima Khan, with his sister. But at this moment, despite they have a court orders, the order of three-member judges from the High Court, that is, the orders are denied, humiliated. Even the police officer, presently, a moment ago, the chief minister of the KPK was denied the access. The police officer, the ordinary police officer, is a more powerful than the chief executive of the province.
Okay.
So at this present condition, this is a kind of a discrimination where we consider it the attack from the federal on the provinces. This is a serious condition.
And indeed, Imtiaz Gul, what are you hearing about Imran Khan's condition?
Well, I think all we are hearing is that he's hale and hearty. He's going about his routine in that death cell with all the limitations imposed on him. There's a very clear categorical message out of the jail by the jail authorities that he is okay, and that they basically rubbished all the rumors that went viral on the social media. So as of now, and there is apparently no reason for concern, no cause for concern, and we'll just take the jail authorities' statement in its stride. Yes, there is a systematic, sustained attempt to keep Imran Khan secluded away from his lawyers, from the sisters, and this is the tug of war that has been going on between the authorities, obviously the higher authorities, not the jail authorities, and Alima Khan, Noreen, and the other Uzma, the three sisters, as well as the chief minister of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province. None of them has been able to see Imran Khan for the last about 3 to 4 weeks. Neither have the lawyers been allowed to see them, and there was a case actually that's supposed to be heard today, the notorious Toshakhana case, that has also been, I think, postponed. So as a whole, there is an attempt to keep him isolated as much as possible.
No, but Mr. Gould, do you believe that he is isolated and he's physically all right, or do you believe there is credibility in the reports which have, sort of gone around all over on the internet for sure?
Well, I don't think it makes sense. It's really advisable to go after every sensational news, that hits the social media. We should all be very careful. Imran Khan is not a fly that can be just removed like
Sure.
that.
Sure.
So we should be extremely careful, particularly when we are on national media. There are guarantors, I think, for Imran Khan sitting in London. I would assume there are some guarantors for his life sitting in Washington as well. So it's not, it can't be like brushed aside or wished away.
I think that's an important point.
I
do think that's an important point, but before we carry on, let's just take a look at this report on these unverified reports claiming that Imran Khan has been killed while in custody.
A night of chaos outside Pakistan's Adiala jail, where former Prime Minister Imran Khan has been held for the past 2 years. Thousands of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf supporters erupted in violent protest, convinced that Imran Khan had died in custody. The unrest unfolded under the shadow of Pakistan's powerful army chief Asim Munir, with many protesters openly accusing the Field Marshal of keeping the former Prime Minister in isolation. Khan's sisters Noreen Niazi, Alima and Uzma were at the scene after being denied yet another meeting with him. They say they've not been allowed to see Khan for over a year, despite multiple Islamabad High Court orders granting twice weekly visitation. The protest, initially a peaceful sit-in, turned tense before finally dispersing on the request of MWM leader Allama Raja Nasir. Khan's family has also accused Punjab police of switching off street lights and launching an unprovoked assault on protesters last week. Concerns continue to grow over Khan's health and reports of solitary confinement. Along with fake reports of Imran Khan's death in custody, there have also been reports that he had been put in solitary confinement. Pakistan authorities have not confirmed any of the rumors surrounding Imran Khan's condition. With tensions mounting, both Khan's family and the PTI continue to demand access and clarity on the former Prime Minister's condition. Bureau report for NDTV.
All right, well, perhaps these may be rumors, but there is still no picture, there is no video, there is no new information on Imran Khan at all. So this does remain a mystery until there is clarity there. General Saha, let me come to you next, sir. And then, of course, Ambassador Malhotra, I'll come to you. General Saha, is it your sense that Asim Munir is trying to consolidate his power at a time when there are serious questions being raised about Imran Khan's well-being?
Well, thank you, Vishnu. And let me begin by recalling, your 9 p.m. show of 10th May, in which, in response to your question, I had said the greatest beneficiary of this ceasefire and its exploitation will be done by Asim Munir, and he has done it. So there you are, and he has used it to his full advantage to make sure that he gets this power and continues. The least is until 2030, unless there is something untoward happens. And well, Pakistan's history shows that you cannot rule out the untoward. So, well, be that as it may. And of course, he is ensuring a complete erosion of civilian authority. You yourself said, like a silent coup or words to that effect. And most interestingly, the lifetime immunity, which he has not only for himself, he has chosen to share it with the President Asif Ali Zardari, which is a case history by itself. So we'll leave it at that. Well, most worrying, I think, from our point of view, is the kind of control that this gentleman is going to exercise on the nuclear arsenal, number one. Second thing, he has also been proclaimed as the most favorite field marshal by President Trump. So which way that relationship is going to go, we'll have to, wait and see. And of course, how he is going to develop further the relationship with China. So all of these are issues for India. Having said that, well, it can't be a one-way street. I mean, he has major issues to be solving at home. One, of course, is right now, I was hearing some very nice comments by the two panelists from Pakistan. You to think that Imran is in any position to mobilize an opposition or a protest from the present conditions, I think is foolish.
Okay.
One cannot expect that. So why is he being denied access? I.e., there is something, it is very, very reasonable to infer or suspect that either something very serious is happening with him or some kind of mutilation or something like that, because Pakistan Army is known to undertake things like mutilation of whom it is considered its adversaries. So this is nothing new. So therefore, all in all, to consolidate powers, but then there are huge challenges which he has. I think we will probably touch upon that
Sure.
as we proceed with the
Yeah.
discussions today.
Ambassador Malhotra, one of the most shocking parts of the 27th amendment in Pakistan, which has been pushed through, is on judges and the Supreme Court and all courts. The fact that the president now has the power of actually removing them. That means that the judiciary in the country is directly under the thumb of the president of the country. That means judges will be bound to look up to whoever it is that rules them, right? So therefore, the rule of law in Pakistan will not work at all.
Good evening, Vishnu. Thank you for having me on your channel. But when has the rule of law prevailed in Pakistan? As far as my memory goes, Pakistan has always been ruled by military, the armed forces, sometimes directly by dictators, sometimes through puppet civilian governments. But at the end of the day, all important decisions, particularly foreign policy and policy towards India, has been in the hands of the army and the armed forces. And, rest is a farce. I mean, all the other institutions have been subjugated. Now, this is a blatant, this has been legitimized. If the earlier it was behind the scenes, a pressure, whatever you may say, but here it has been legitimized by making judiciary the most, one of the most important arms of any system of governance, also subordinate to the armed forces. The only difference which has happened in the recent past is that the generals in Pakistan have become, smart enough not to assume any accountability while wielding all the powers. And they are the most powerful, but least accountable.
General Saha, it was just General Asim Munir. He appointed himself essentially Field Marshal, and now he's again essentially appointed himself as Chief of Defence Force. That's what they call it. How does this consolidation of military rule from a military standpoint actually help him, or is this essentially a political tool that he's using?
See, Vishnu, let me answer the question in a reverse order. As a political tool, I think we have spent the last 30 minutes discussing that part, right? But from a military point of view, well, what Pakistan is going to achieve, it is going to centralize everything. To that extent, yes, it is going to benefit because they will be able to hasten their modernization plans because they have picked up a lot of lessons. You can see it from the papers that come out even through open sources in Pakistan on the lessons that they have learned from those 87 hours operation of Op Sindoor. So they will bring all that into play. Second thing is, I think they will go on a overdrive for further integration with the PLA. We are seeing how much this exercise Shaheen, the exercise that the PLA Air Force and the Pakistan Air Force undertakes, how it has evolved over the last, I think 14 years now, 14 or 12 years now, and how it has sort of stabilized and taken care of a lot of issues through interoperability. So I think we are going to see a lot of that. Having said that, it also implies that the challenge which is coming from Afghanistan, and I think more significantly the challenge which is coming from Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, this is something which is going to be only get tougher.
Yeah.
Because let's not forget the fact that all of them have some kind of political support. And I missed out on the BLA, the Balochistan part. So therefore, these challenges are going to get only more and more difficult. So under these circumstances, it has more benefits, shall we say, at least in the short term. But the challenges will start coming out of these internal security issues that I said. Second thing, what happens in the future of US-Pakistan relations, and the third thing is till how much will he be able to push the other two services, because frankly his holding on to this authoritative position is coming at the expense of the other two services. It is coming at the expense of the other people who are aspiring to become army chief.
Sure.
Because he is not even allowing a vice chief to be appointed. So
Yeah.
you see the kind of insecurity despite the usurping of authority.
Right.
So it is not as simple as it seems to be now. So, well, of course, time will tell how the whole story unfolds.
Ambassador Malhotra, the fact that the dynamics between Washington and Islamabad are now very different, the fact that Donald Trump has a real equation with President Zardari and certainly Field Marshal Munir, he keeps referring to him as Field Marshal. How does that change things for us here in India?
Vishnu, I look at it this way. Theoretically, we ourselves advocate multi-alignment and multi-engagement. Like we would like to deal with the United States of America. We would also like to deal with Russia. We would like to deal with France and other countries. So if United States or Donald Trump, in his wisdom, has decided to engage the Pakistani army military, he has no hesitation in dealing directly with the field marshals, even if he is not holding any elected position, which we have. So it's up to them. It's their sovereign right. Our bottom line is very, very clear. So long as there is this newly found love between the two countries, and in fact Pakistan has been their allies for until number of years. So long as their alliance or their partnership does not create a situation which is inimical to our national interests, including security interests, I think we should not, we should not be questioning this relationship.
All right.
Because this is policy that we ourselves follow, multi-alignment, multi-engagement. So they can brush it aside by saying, well, if you want to deal with almost the whole of the world, we also have the sovereign right to do.
All right.
But mind it, you can't do it in a manner that would harm our interests, national security interests.
Well, gentlemen, I'd like to thank you very much for joining us. These are particularly troubled times for Pakistan. Consolidation of power, where is it all leading? What about the judiciary in the country? We leave it there. Thank you all very much for being with us.